Hey, y'all, bunch of puncha here, and I got some more Street Fighter 6 ranked footage for y'all. If you missed my community post, I did finally make it to Master Rank as Sagat, so I figured I'd take a brief amount of time here to kind of reassess my thoughts on Sagat as a character, after the initial hype, as well as kind of talk about my experience climbing ranked with him as a character. So going off of like the time dates on my community post, it took me about 2 weeks to climb with Sagat, which was the same amount of time that it took me with Akuma. But granted, I did start at like a lower rank with Sagat. I placed like Diamond 1 as opposed to Akuma. I placed, I think, I think it was like Diamond 4 if I'm remembering correctly. So you could argue I climbed at a little bit of a faster rate with Sagat than I did with Akuma, but at the same time, I've also been playing more these past 2 weeks than I did the 2 weeks that I did the Akuma Master Rank run. Like with Akuma, I played every other day, whereas with Sagat, I was kind of playing every day just because I didn't really have anything else to do. So I don't really know which character I climbed at a faster rate with. I guess I'd have to like look at like my gameplay hours and kind of just evaluate like that. But you get the gist. I felt like I kind of had an easier time climbing with Sagat, and I think part of that was, I mean, there's a few things that go into that I'll talk about later, but I think a part of it is that, as you climb rank with more characters, you become more familiar with like, the ebbs and flows of like rank, like losing matches, winning matches, things like that, and you just kind of become more comfortable being in like a ranked queue. Whereas initially with um, Akuma, I didn't know what to really expect, so I got kind of like really discouraged if I hit like a very harsh losing streak. But it's a part of the process. I think like other people have kind of talked about this too, where you will get these ebbs and flows with like your win and loss streaks. So no, overall, I guess I will say that Sagat is still a ton of fun as a character. I think I've come to a very similar conclusion that a lot of the community has too, in that while he is fun, he isn't like a lot of people were expecting him to kind of be like the zoning Shoto because that was his archetype in previous games, except maybe five. I'm not too sure about that. But in previous games, he was kind of seen as like the zoner of the Shoto, like the Shoto like archetype, right? Because he has the different fireballs, he has the different fireball speeds, and playing as him, like you do kind of have that, but I guess for comparison, I felt like I had an easier time zoning people out with like Akuma's fireballs, right? Whereas, again, you do have those tools as Sagat, but I mean, part of it's like it's easier to jump in on him with the fireball, with his fireballs, because he has a bit more of a startup to it, and he is like, I think just in general a bit more punishable when he's throwing out fireballs. Plus, like, it's a blessing and a curse to have like high and low fireballs, because like as a player you're having to think like, okay, should I throw a high or low fireball? And like in between, like your opponent has a better chance of closing the distance on you, as opposed to Kuma. You just it's you throw a regular fireball and sometimes you EX it, or sometimes you jump and throw an aerial fireball. But it's just like um I don't know. There's like more of like kind of a mental game with zoning through Sagat, and he does. And I think I had a better time in the neutral with him by like not focusing on that aspect of him, but instead of like closing the distance and like hounding people, especially hounding people in the corner. Like, oh my god, you could just put people through the vortex with Sagat. It's crazy. Like his tiger knee, his especially in modern, his auto combo light. It's crazy. It's crazy. But no, a ton of fun, and it's honestly kind of giving me this weird character crisis right now, because I still do like Akuma, and I feel like I have the stronger combos with Akuma, and because uh, Akuma is essentially like a glass cannon. I get better damage with him overall. right? I like how you could go into with Akuma, you could go to like his heavy auto combo into his like medium auto combo, and it kind of gives you like flexibility. Granted, a lot of this could be that I've just been playing with him more as a character than I have with Sagat, so maybe there's like more nuances that I still have to learn with Sagat. So yeah, on one hand with Akuma, I have the better combos and the better damage, but with Sagat, I feel like I'm playing a better neutral game. Like I'm utilizing more of his normals. I'm doing a better job of like closing the distance with my opponent and like pressuring them, like especially in the corner. I feel like I do a lot more work with Sagat than Akuma. So I'm not really sure who I'll stick with as my main. Maybe I'll just play between the two. I mean, I'm not like insanely it's not like I'm competing in any major tournaments soon, so I don't have to like necessarily make that decision. So I'll probably jump around between the two. If you have any preference for what character you want to see me play, please leave it in the comments down below. But no, overall, this was a very fun experience for me. It's crazy to think that I got to master rank with 2 different characters where I didn't even think I was going to do it with one. Makes me very excited for the future of Street Fighter. Like I said, I'm looking forward to Alex and Ingrid. Maybe Alex a little bit less because I was doing more research on him, and I completely forgot he had charge inputs. So I'm curious to see how they met. Like, yeah, he has like a mix of charge and like his command grab, I think, is like a half circle, if I'm remembering correctly, like half circle forward for one and then half circle back for another. And he has like a charge command for like, I don't know if it's his chops specifically and granted, it has changed over different games. So God, I'm just really curious how they're going to map Alex. Depending on how they do, I might not actually like it because in general, I'm not really big on charge characters in Modern. Like I know Tyler 1 has been doing a lot of work with Modern Guile, and so just for fun, I tried picking him up myself, and as soon as I did, I remembered, oh yeah, this isn't for me. It's such a shame because I feel like in some ways I would like Guile. I've talked about this before. I kind of do like zoning as a concept. It feels like very instinctual to me, like zoning as a concept, but I just can't really find a good enough zoner to play for it. I mean, closest is like maybe Sagat and Akuma, but again, they're not necessarily focused on that, or especially their forms in like Street Fighter 6 aren't focused on that. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess I'll just have to wait and see. And Ingrid might be pretty interesting because she doesn't have any charge inputs, but I think from what people were I might be wrong. I think what people were explaining, she's kind of like a trap setup character, which is again, it's like one of those archetypes I can respect as a player. Like if you're really good at that type of stuff, it's just I've never really found a trap character that's like been appealing to me. I have to really think if there's any that I like. But anyways, don't want to take up that much more of your time. Thank you so much for listening, for watching so far, and enjoy the rest of the footage. Take care.
No escape! What's wrong? Get up! Hadouken! Hadouken! Take this! Hadouken! 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 Take this! Hadouken! Tayoni! Too fast! Hadouken! Tayoni! Tayoni! Too fast! Right there! Not what's the boot! Hadouken! Hadouken!
Round 2. Fight! Final round! Fight! Time over. Sagat wins!